The visitor noticed a tall mirror covered by a linen cloth in the corner of Sage Hallow's library. Most things in the library were left open to be seen, but this one had been hidden. The cloth moved slightly in the warm air, as if something beneath it was waiting. The cloth moved slightly in the warm air, as if something beneath it was waiting. "Why is this one covered?" they asked quietly. Sage appeared beside them, silent and calm. "Because many who stand before it are not ready at first," he said softly. The visitor looked at the cloth again. "Ready for what?" Sage's eyes softened. "To see themselves clearly." The visitor hesitated, then slowly lifted the linen away. A polished mirror stood before them, framed in old carved wood. They looked into it and immediately frowned. The reflection looked tired. Its shoulders were lowered. Its eyes carried heaviness. The visitor leaned closer. Then words began to appear across the glass. "Not written by ink. Written by memory. Not enough. Too late. Everyone else is doing better." The visitor stepped back slowly. "I never said those aloud," they whispered. "You didn't need to," Sage replied gently. The room grew quiet. The visitor stared at the mirror again. "I thought this would show my face." "It is showing more than your face." The visitor's throat tightened. "I didn't know I sounded like this." "Many people don't," Sage said softly. "They grow so used to harsh thoughts. They mistake them for truth." The visitor lowered their gaze. "I thought being hard on myself would help me improve." Sage's voice remained calm. "Correction can guide you. Cruelty only breaks your spirit." The words settled deeply. The visitor looked back at the mirror. The harsh phrases still covered the glass. "How do I make that voice stop?" they asked. Sage stepped beside them. "You do not begin by fighting every thought." He gently touched the frame. "You begin by answering it with truth." The visitor looked confused. "What truth?" Sage met their eyes. "That struggling does not make you worthless. That moving slower does not make you lesser. That making mistakes does not make you a failure." The words on the mirror trembled. Then, one by one, they faded. "Not enough" disappeared first. "Too late" dissolved next. "Everyone else is doing better" drifted away like dust. The glass became clear. The visitor looked again. This time, the reflection stood taller. Its eyes looked softer, kinder, more at peace. Tears gathered quietly. "I don't remember the last time I looked at myself with kindness." Sage gave a small nod. Then perhaps today is the day you begin again. The visitor placed a hand over their heart. For once it felt easier to breathe. They looked at the mirror one last time. It had never lied. It had never lied. And now it reflected something gentler. The library softened into gentle quiet. Warm light rested across the clear glass. And in that still moment, the visitor understood. They had never been the harsh words they carried. They had only repeated them until they sounded true. Sometimes healing begins the moment you speak to yourself the way you always needed someone else to. And if you need a quiet place to sit with that, you're always welcome to rest here for a while.